What's up, guys? I've been on vacation for the past 8 days, but I haven't seen too many new movies, but of course I saw this one. This movie may have just came out like 4 or 5 days ago, but like it seems everything has been said about this movie. If you have not seen this movie yet, don't even watch this review. This is a movie that is best seen as blind as possible. And I actually like how the marketing, while it did claim it was going to be the most terrifying experience you'll have all year, it also didn't reveal that much of what this movie really is. And all of the interesting parts on Longlegs were not in any of the trailers. And I give Neon credit for that, especially since they are just winning right now. Like, props to them. I first heard of Oz Perkins with his movie The Black Coat's Daughter, which A24 just kind of slipped under the rug when it came out. I think I saw it, but I don't remember any vivid details of it. But it seems like Oz and Co. were just shooting for the stars on this one, making a movie as if their life depended on it. From the very beginning of this movie, it is just framed in such a way where you know you're going to be getting something very elevated, picking up over the likes of an Ari Aster, Robert Eggers, or even a Jordan Peele. And I've seen a lot of the comparisons associating this with Seven or Silence of the Lambs, and yes, this movie's a lot like those. And I definitely felt some Fincher aesthetic in the way that some of these shots look. But I couldn't help but to think of Denis Villeneuve and his movie Prisoners, specifically with our main character here, who by all accounts is one of my favorite characters I've seen on screen this year. The way this movie highlights her personality traits, I was really captivated, and I think it is mostly because it's Maika Monroe who is in the driver's seat. As an actress, I mean, she is built for horror. We've seen her time and time again. But here on Longlegs, getting something even more elevated and dramatic, she shines so much here. I love like her girlish nature that bleeds into this character who is pretty stone-faced through it all, but you can't help but to wonder what is going on in her head. And as the movie goes on, this makes more and more sense. I will say the mystery element here, it felt convoluted and easy, yet at the same time puzzling to follow. But I say puzzling in the best way because I thought the way that this wrapped up was very satisfying, as were the other performances. I thought Blair Underwood was great as this FBI partner, and also Kiernan Shimpa, who is only on one scene, but you won't forget it as it holds as like the backbone of what this movie is. So I was impressed by all of the supporting roles here, which of course brings me to Nicolas Cage. His inclusion is something that I've read both parts of. Some people loved it, some people didn't. I'm kind of in the middle. The whole time I kept thinking on how David Lynch refers to him as the jazz player of actors. Very much, you know what to expect a lot of the time with someone like Nicolas Cage. And by no means was I disappointed or unsatisfied by his contribution onto this movie, yet at the same time, it did take away from some of the dread of this movie, or the element of surprise. I think if Nicolas Cage wasn't in this movie and it was a different cracked out role, we probably could have got something just as good, if not a little bit better. And I suppose for some of the audience that are Criminal Minds, X-Files, Twin Peaks pilled, they're going to kind of see one thing coming after another and kind of correlate what type of entity we are dealing with here. But I was just taken by how modern this movie felt and how satisfied I was with the craftsmanship. Even the buildings on this movie and the time period, none of it is really shoved into your face, but it all looks impressive. I also kept thinking of like PlayStation 1 survival horror games like Resident Evil or Parasite Eve. The team that did that PS1 Twin Peaks survival horror game, I recommend them to check this movie out because everything from the dialogue to how everything looks on here, I think they were going to be impressed. So yeah, I really liked this movie. I'm actually looking forward to watching it another time. I thought the time went by really fast here. The way that it's chopped up, it just worked for me. And I'll leave it at that. I'll give this movie an 8.4. And Longlegs is playing in theaters everywhere. It is released by Neon. Thank you for watching.